What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, the countdown has begun. We are officially less than 3 weeks moving into the new house. And though that may be a fantastic thing, I have to do one thing that I'm not looking forward to. And that is packing up everything in here in a nice, orderly, neat fashion and getting it moved from here to its new resting place in the new garage. But I'm not going to let that stop me from doing projects. So what you may see is projects start in this garage and end in the next one. So just be mindful of that. I am in the process of moving, so that could happen. But what are we going to work on today? Today's video is going to be based on painting with Spraymax's 1K color match paint and their 2K clear in the aerosol cans. But we're not painting stuff for me. Painting something for somebody else. So a fellow Q50 owner local to me came by the other day, and while he was here, he inquired about the old spoiler that I had on the trunk of my car. And he was looking at getting a nice, clean, low spoiler just to add a little bit of flair to the back, but not to be too drastic. Well, while I was talking to him about the spoiler, I also let him know that I had some eyelids that were ABS plastic. They were just sitting around collecting dust, really just being in the way. I couldn't find myself to throw them out, so instead they've just sat around for the past 2 years in a box. So he said he would take them off my hands, but they need to be a different color. His car is the factory black. So in this video, we're gonna go ahead and scuff these up, 400, 600 grit, get them prepped for base coat. We're gonna recolor them, let them cure a little bit, about 15 minutes in between coats, and then hit them with 2 to 3 layers of the Spraymax 2K clear, or until the can's empty, because once it's open, you only have about 24 to 48 hours to use that can up, unless you freeze it. And as you see, I don't have a freezer in here. So before you sand anything, you want to make sure that it's clean. So what I've already done is I've went through, I've cleaned everything off with soap and water, I've dried it thoroughly, I've then cleaned it with acetone, dried that thoroughly. I also went on the back side and peeled up all the old 3M tape that was on the back. So that way I have a nice clean base on the back side as well for any overspray. And that'll go ahead and get scuffed too. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up on the tripod and I'm gonna get started sanding.
I wanna see the light. See the light.
Okay, now the sanding's done, let me go ahead and show you where we're at before I take these out and wash them, let them dry. So the rear wing didn't really have any damage to it because nothing was hitting it directly from the front or the back. So for this, I just went through with 600 grit and sanded it down and scuffed it up, and then I went over it one more time with 800 just to smooth out any of the 600 grit scratches before I reapply the base coat to that. For the eyelids, they had a lot of chips in them, as you can see where I went down into the primer and into the plastic in some of the areas around the edge here. So for those, I actually started those at 220 and took them up to 600. So that way I feathered all the damage area. So that way when I spray the color over, everything is nice and smooth and you don't see the variations where the chips were. Everything's all clean. I went ahead and let it dry. There's still some water spots underneath, so it's sitting here for a little bit longer. It isn't gonna hurt anything. So while I'm waiting for it to dry thoroughly, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this table and stands back to the back here, sweep and clean everything up around the floor here, so that way I don't have any dust or debris that's going to come up and land on the paint when I start the spray. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that out, figure out what I'm going to do to elevate these off the table so I can spray them and get all around the corners and edges. And then once it cools down, I'll jump into getting this thing sprayed. Temperature is now down from 90 to approximately 72 degrees. which is ideal for what we need to do next. So before we get into it, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I'm using. So I'm gonna clean off these panels one more time with the 70% isopropyl alcohol, hit them with the color matched 1K of Spraymax fill, and then finish them off with the 2K clear Glamour, also by Spraymax. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing back up, get these parts cleaned, and get the base coat laid down. Every ounce of that base coat's down, went through the whole can. In all, got about 4 coats of base on all 3 pieces. So now I'm gonna wait about a half hour, let these cure off a little bit, and then we'll shoot the clear coat and see what happens. Alrighty, so I've already shaken the 2K clear Glamour. Go ahead and take the stopper out of the lid, place it on the bottom of the can, give it a nice hard push, pop the layer between the activator and the actual clear, shake it for 2 more minutes, and then we can start laying the clear down. Now the clear is completely on. 4 consistent coats, 2 coats at the end, nice and heavy. These are looking really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn everything off here, shut it all down, and let these cure overnight. And then the next thing you see will be these pieces going on the car of the person they belong to. All right, so as I said, next time you see these, it's gonna be when they got put on the car. So as you see, car's here. So now we're gonna go ahead and get these flipped over, get the towel laid down so we don't scuff up the paint, get the 3M tape installed, and then clean the car down in the areas we're gonna be installing the pieces. And then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna set you up and you can watch along. Everything's installed, and gotta say he's happy with it. So that will do it for this one. I'll see you guys on the next one.